And common masses need to hear good advice. The Qur'an's term for good advice is al-maw'idah al-hasana. The Qur'an's phrase is al-maw'idah al-hasana. What that means is a good sermon, a good counsel, good advice. Relevant advice. That's one. Number two. In every society there's common people, and then there are, you can call them the leaders of that society. But I don't mean in the political sense only. Leaders in a society are, the better term for them is the intellectual elite. The intellectual elite. These are very intelligent people in society, Muslim or non-Muslim, and they are at the top of their fields, whether their field is finance, or it's government, or it's economics, or it's any sciences or whatever. They're at the top of their fields. They are the pioneers in their fields. Everybody else looks up to them. They are even the trendsetters of that society. They're the analysts of that society. They're the thinkers of that society. They are the think tank, the upper echelon of that society. If you want to invite them to Islam, al-maw'idah al-hasana, good advice, good counsel is not enough. Because these are really smart people, what kind of questions do they ask? Easy ones or hard ones? They ask hard questions. They ask deep questions. And any da'i, somebody like myself, may not be able to answer their questions, because their questions are tough. For example, somebody who's at the highest level of their studies in, let's say, finance, and they're very successful, or somebody people look up to, like somebody like the head of the Federal Reserve, for example. I have an opportunity to talk to him about Islam. He's going to ask me not about Islam, but he's going to say, what does Islam say about the stock market? What does it say about, corporations? What does it say about shareholding? What does it say about antitrust laws? He's going to start talking to me about financial terms, and I'm going to be like, haram? And I'm not going to have an answer for it. If he's asking me at a certain level, if I have to give him Islam, I have to give him Islam at what? At his level. At his level. And it's not like that's a bad thing. We're supposed to present Islam at every level. And if people are at different levels, we have to be able to present our deen at different levels, you understand? Now that advanced level of presenting our deen, is that going to benefit everybody? If I start giving a khutbah about, antitrust laws and corporations and, is that going to benefit everybody? No. What did most people need? What did I tell you?
Good advice.
Good advice. Good advice. But then these upper echelon, they need special kinds of dawah. Special kind of wisdom is necessary to deal with them. Okay, now we got two kinds of people. Now let's imagine we're living in a happy time where we realize that our young generation, we have to turn them into what? Da'is. And we realize a good number of them, we have to create an army of men and women that are going to give good advice. And we also have to create at the same time an army of our leaders, our young leaders, that are going to be able to give da'wah at higher levels. They're going to be specialists. And we have that vision, and we start producing these people. If you imagine that starts happening, you know what's going to happen? The society at large they're going to start getting scared. They're going to start getting scared. This is crazy. Some of our really top people are becoming Muslim. This can't be good. Because when really influential people become Muslim, what happens? They don't, it's not just them that become Muslim. Their co-workers say, hey, what's this Islam thing? Tell me about it. And people who look up to them say, he became Muslim. What am I doing? I should become Muslim too. You understand? So it starts having an effect. Now, why would anybody become afraid of Islam anyway? I'm saying that when this happens, when dawah is being done, common people are appreciating the advice of Islam, really influential people in society are starting to become Muslim. Why would anybody be afraid of Islam anyway? Why would they say this is a threat? Why? That question is very important to ask. Because our deen, it has two goals. In dunya, in this world, the goal of our religion is justice. In the akhirah, in the next life, the goal of our religion is success. What our deen gives us in this world is what?
Justice.
Justice. Justice between man and woman. Justice between the slave of Allah and the master. Justice between business partners. Justice between the government and the people. Justice between, the employers and employees. It's justice across the board. Guess who hates justice? People who take advantage of injustice. Injustice. For example, I'll give you a small example. You know who, if Islam started getting stronger in this country, you know who one of our biggest enemies would be? Budweiser. Honestly. You know why? Because our deen teaches us the injustices that spread because of what evil? وَإِثْمُهُمَا أَكْبَرُ مِنْ نَفْعِهِمَا. The entire casino industry in Las Vegas would hate Islam. Budweiser would hate Islam. The pornography industry would hate Islam. Are these small industries? No, these are multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar industries. We would create some very powerful enemies if we started making Islam a force. If Islam started becoming influential. Do you think they're just going to sit there and wait for us to get stronger and stronger? No. Those that take advantage of injustice, they will produce their own response. They will find their way of stopping this dawah. And though they do many things, and we'll inshallah on another occasion I'll talk about what they do to try to destroy or to do the work, undo the work that we're trying to do. By the way, I'm talking about all of this, and how much of this is actually happening right now? How many da'is are we producing? And how many people that can speak at the intellectual level are we producing? Is this really happening right now at the organized level? No, this is all theory right now. We need to know this so we can put our heads together and get to work. Because this ummah has work to do, you know? But anyway, you know what they do? If you reach this level, then what they do is they produce these talkers, very eloquent, very sharp talkers, whose only job is to talk trash about Islam. On the radio, on TV, on every media possible, their job is to show people how evil Islam is, how ugly Islam is, how crazy Islam is. That's all they're going to do. And by the way, we haven't even done our work, but they've already done theirs. We've already got those pit bulls in the media. We've already got those enemies in the media. Right? SubhanAllah, we're falling behind. They're like, they're 3 steps ahead. Like, in case they get further, we should be ready already. You know? And what this does is, it keeps the masses of people not to take the good advice. Because before they hear the good advice, what did they hear about Islam? That it's evil. That Sharia law is going to hurt. Right? You know? That's what they hear first. They don't hear our message first. And that's our fault, actually. If Muslims have been in good number in this country for 2 or 3 decades, our da'wah should have been way further than it is right now. Every household in this country should have known what Islam is. In one way, shape, or form or another. Not from anybody else, from us. They should have known it from us. That's our failure. But it's still not too late. We're still breathing air. Allah has still given us an opportunity to get our act together. You know? So now they produce these arguers, these debaters, these experts on Islam that are going to attack every aspect of our deen. To respond to those fools and to put them in their place, we need to produce a third kind of da'i. There's a kind of da'i that gives general advice, there's a kind of da'i that speaks to the intellectuals, and there's a kind of da'i that specializes in debate. He specializes in the arguments that are made against Islam, and he puts them in their place. He humiliates them, just like they try to humiliate our deen. Fire with fire. That's a special kind of da'i. These are 3 projects of da'wah that we need to work on. But what did I tell you is at the bottom? What's the foundation?
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. If we truly have brotherhood, we can sit together and think about this stuff. And say, what do we do? There's this young man in our community. There's this young sister in our community. She's teaching at the Sunday school. She's volunteering with the youth program. I think she would be good in this area of da'wah. We need to help her become that. And then she can inspire other young girls to do that. She can become, a carrier of a good message to women across the country. If we're going to really carry da'wah in this country, we have to make da'wah to women. And to really make da'wah to women, who do you need? Women da'iyat. We need them. There's a need for them. If I talk about the benefits of hijab or this or that, they're going to say, yeah, figures. Right? But if a woman speaks about it, if she stands up and talks to other women about why she's wearing the hijab, why she's a Muslim, why she's not oppressed, why Islam actually may give her freedom. It didn't enslave her, it gave her freedom. Before Islam, she was enslaved. After Islam, she feels free. If she starts talking like that, then you're creating a serious wave in the society. But we're not going to be able to invest in our people unless there's brotherhood first. Now, the final 2 cents I want to share with you. I gave you 3